Arlene, it was a hell of it. I mean, the second biggest swing from Conservative to Liberal since 1945.
Yes, and I think the first biggest swing was in Christchurch in 1993, and then when the election came, the general election came, the seat did go back to the Conservative Party, but of course then Labour came in as the government in 1997, as we all remember. That was the start of Tony Blair's reign. But look, it was certainly a protest vote. Actually, listening to the vox pops coming from Oswestry and places like that, you could very clearly hear that people were Conservatives. That was how they normally voted, but they were going to vote for the Liberal Democrats just to, frankly, give Boris a kick up the backside. And that's what by-elections do. I thought it was also interesting, Nigel, to look at the by-election that happened 3 weeks ago in Old Bexley and Sidcup. There, the swing was only 10% and went to Labour on that occasion. And Labour were saying what a great thing this was that this had happened. But up in North Shropshire, they decided not to go to Labour. In fact, Labour fell way down to, I think, just over 3,000 votes. And actually what happened was the protest went to the Liberal Democrats. So it is a protest vote. I think the Prime Minister's reaction was probably the right reaction, the only reaction he could have. One of saying, look, I accept it, personal responsibility. I accept it with humility. I hear what has been said. But if he is hearing what has been said, he needs to do something. And I know from personal experience that leadership is a lonely place, Nigel. I know that very, very well. Yeah. What he needs is a team of very trusted people around him who will tell him what is what, and not just tell him what he wants to hear, but actually what he needs to hear. And I think that is what is lacking at the moment. And I thought it was interesting that Tom was referencing the fact that he doesn't have, like Thatcher had, this coterie of people who would have went out and batted for him. Ironically, one of those who would have batted for him in the past was David Frost.